Your leader, Kavita Garu, has said that this is half-baked. Also not every household was actually, they did not go to every household to ask them relevant questions. She's also said that, if the numbers show, then the reservation should be given ASAP. You cannot sit on it because you promised it during elections. I want to ask you, just as an opening statement, do you believe in the numbers which the caste census has thrown up, Krishank?
Absolutely not, Sudhagaru. Let me be straight and clear. Absolutely not. Personal experience, my whole apartments itself, they did not turn up for the survey. Not just my flat, but the entire apartments, and I've asked the locals too. Why? Only the government should know the answer for it. Keeping that aside, the Congress government called for a session today, a session, special session, short discussion only on this caste census. Now, when the Congress government itself has decided to put it for a discussion, table the bill, and today they come up asking for adjournment and postponing of the session. So when you're not prepared, why do you go for the discussion? And surprisingly, even before this important, significant caste census bill was tabled here for discussion, it came up for discussion in Parliament by Sri Rahul Gandhi ji himself, where we understand that this has a political agenda, that the leader of opposition, which is Mr. Rahul Gandhi, has to speak in the Parliament and to claim credits over the caste census done by the Congress party. They immediately, just 24 hours before that, they've announced. And the numbers show significantly a drastic change, a reduction in OBCs, in scheduled castes, in Muslim minorities also. They raise the question that how can number actually reduce when after a decade, if there is a caste census done, if they've done so seriously, then the numbers should actually shoot up. Instead of that, how did the numbers reduce? Number one. And when you have actually promised, the whole intention today is Rahul Gandhi ji talking about jitni abadi utna hak, then definitely the OBCs who believe their promise that from 23% you will raise it up to 42%, then your numbers have to be accurate. Will you stand up to the promise? Because what we hear from the local ministers here, from the Congress ministers here, that very soon a local body notification would be announced. So will this replicate, will this caste census which you put out also execute an implementation effectively that you will raise up the percentage of 42%? And now there are some serious groups who are actually disappeared out of it from Telangana state. Jains, Sikhs, Parsis, Christians. Don't Telangana have any Christians? Don't Telangana have any Sikhs? Don't
But then they
Telangana have
can,
any
sorry
Jains or
Krishank, no,
Parsis?
no, you're right about Parsis and Sikhs and Jains. But so far as, Christians are concerned, they could have gone under the cat because there is subcategorization also. You see, this 46.2% which you say has declined, this is excluding Muslim BCs. It's not including Muslim BCs. Including
That
Muslim
is the
BCs,
reason.
it's
So
56 odd
when
percent. So they have
so
categorized Muslim BCs as a separate category is how one can understand it. And I think the same thing goes for Christians, Krishank. That's the whole issue. But before we go any further, okay, you finish your point. Why should I stop you? Go ahead, Krishank.
my only urge is when the government has taken it prestigiously, they could have gone to the specifics where they could have explained the numbers accurately, which could have made us feel that the government has put a serious effort on this. But with numbers reducing in the OBCs, and as I told you, I mean specifics, when you mentioned about the OCs and Muslims, the OBCs and Muslims. So definitely the Christian groups also are questioning today. In fact, it is the BC organizations. Have you rightly mentioned Krishna Garu, who's been a very senior BC leader for decades, has questioned today. The BC organizations have questioned that how can lakhs of people, how can it vary, differentiate that from 10 years before there was a lakhs of difference of the OBCs and today has reduced. And there is a massive percentage of the OCs. It could be Reddys or Velmas, or the OCs, the forward castes, there is a 3 to 4% of rise in it. So this prominently is a question today, and this could have been answered if before keeping a press meet If before keeping a press meet, they should have actually
Right. Okay.
tabled it in the House
I do not know how true this is.
Assembly.
I do not know how true this is. Apparently, the Chief Minister is also not very happy. You know, Syed Nizamuddin is here, who's the spokesperson for TPCC. Mr. Nizamuddin, this is what I am hearing, that the Chief Minister apparently is not very happy as to why go to the press before it's being presented in the Assembly, you know, which of course gives it a kind of a formal ratification. Syed Nizamuddin, Sahib, I want to ask you, the BCs are up in arms. They said, how come our numbers have reduced? When it was done earlier, that is during KCR Garu's time, it was 52% or, you know, do pardon me if I get my percentage wrong by 0.3 or 0.5, and please do correct me. Anyway, coming back to it, they say now it's reduced to 46.25%, which is excluding Muslim BCs. They are saying, why have our numbers gone down, Syed Nizamuddin Sahib? Would you like to explain this, please?
Good evening. This is very clear that we have done it caste-based census. It is particularly for all the caste-based census, like, you know, BCs and ST, SC, everything is, we have done it sincerely. We have done it in 50 days of time. And as far as my, BRS spokesperson says that the CM is not happy. It is very clear that the Uttam Kumar Reddy ji is a minister and he is a chairman for the subcommittee, and he has cleared the figures of the BCs. What is the how much is the BC, how much is the SC, and how much is the minority. It is very clear, and it is tabled in the cabinet today. And I was listening that, like, you know, why it is postponed the assembly. See, the cabinet discussion is expanded. So it was about to start at 11 o'clock, and it has gone to 2 o'clock. Now, what is wrong in this? It can be postponed. It is happened in assembly. It is happened in the parliament.
Why
also.
not? I don't think that's a point at all, Mr. Nizamuddin, to criticize.
This is very clear. See, in a 10 years of tenure, BRS tenure, then they have done nothing for the BCs.
No, let's just stick around. You see, let's stick around to the topic. Your government is in power.
They have nothing done for the BCs.
Okay.
They have done the household comprehensive survey in 2014. Have they revealed the report? No. We have done the survey in 50 days of time. We have revealed the report. And it
but
is
tell me, let's come back. No, I'm going to steer you back to the debate, Mr. Nizamuddin. How come the BCs are saying, excluding Muslim BCs, their standalone numbers, how come that has reduced? Is there some method to this?
Nothing reduced, madam. It is very, very clear figure. They have given the BC Muslims 10% or some 10% plus also, and the 46% is all coming to 56%, madam. So nothing. It is nothing reduced.
Oh, I'm telling you, Mr. Nizamuddin, Mr. Nizamuddin, पहले एक मिनट रुक जाइए.
95.6%
Mr. Nizamuddin,
survey.
Earlier it was the consolidated figure, or the standalone figure was around 52%. Now the standalone figure, according to BC leaders who have threatened to go on an agitation if reservation is not given to them, it has reduced to 46%. If you paid me 52 rupees as salary and then reduce it to 46 rupees, I will ask you, no, Mr. Nizamuddin.
It is not like that, madam. 46% plus 10% is going to 56% exactly.
Oh God!
Okay,
but you know,
56%.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm talking about the standalone thing. Also, they say that the upper caste, it has gone up. What is the method to that madness, sir?
What exactly figure is there? We have done a survey. We have done it very sincerely. Nothing, no manipulation is there in this. What is the exact figure?
Okay, so your local body polls are approaching. So I want to ask you, Mr.
Madam,
Nizam.
during the BRS period, they have reduced from 34% to 23%. What do you say about this, madam?
All right, I'll ask
very
Krishank.
much sincere now.
No, I will ask Krishank. Don't worry. Nizamuddin Sahib, don't worry. I am going to ask Krishank Mane about this entire thing. I will ask you, but if there is the BC leaders have threatened an agitation. There are local
Nothing,
body
madam,
polls.
Definitely, we are very much sincere. We are very much committed. Definitely.
So are you committed to 42% reservation, Mr. Nizamuddin, which you promised?
Our Chief Minister has clearly said that it cannot be reduced from 42%.
So you will give reservation of 42%?
Definitely. We will data-driven policies we will make. Data-driven governance is also will be there.
All right. Krishank Mane, please respond to what Nizamuddin sir said about how you had reduced the numbers as well. If you concur, Please comment, and then I'll ask you yet another question, Krishank.
Sudhaji, the previous survey which happened on the 17th of August 2014, the factual numbers, they are doing a gross injustice. My friend Nizamuddin ji is doing a gross injustice by saying we have reduced the numbers. One, Muslims, only Muslims, standalone Muslims, 46 lakhs 25,062. I'm being very accurate with the numbers previously, which was 13%. And now you've reduced the numbers with, where are the 1,66,050? The number has reduced. And coming to the OBCs and the SCs, the OBCs were 51% then, standalone. And in Hindu BC, we've mentioned it also. Hindu BC 51%, Muslim BC again ST 10% and SCs 18%. Today you've brought it down to 17 point etc for the scheduled castes. And when it comes to the OBC, only Hindu OBC from 51%, you've brought it down. So these figures are actually a question of the BC organizations.